Once upon a time, in a prosperous town in Africa, lived the wealthy Mbeki family. They owned a flourishing jewelry company renowned for its exquisite craftsmanship. Mr. and Mrs. Mbeki had two beloved daughters, Asha and Ashanti. Asha, the firstborn daughter, was ambitious and managed the family business with unwavering dedication. Ashanti, the second-born daughter, had just graduated from the university and introduced her boyfriend Isa, an accountant at another company who was well loved by the Mbeki family, and both parents and Asha approved of him. Life seemed perfect until Isa proposed to Ashanti and came to pay the dowry. "I'm so sorry, Isa, but the marriage cannot push through fast." Mr. Mbeki shocked everyone. "What do you mean, father, that my marriage cannot push through?" Ashanti asked, shocked. "According to our tradition, the second-born daughter cannot get married or her dowry paid before the first-born daughter's dowry is paid," her father replied. "What kind of tradition is that?" Asha asked, shocked. "Traditions are always followed, Asha. You have to find a man first, and he has to pay your dowry. Then Ashantis can follow," Mrs. Mbeki said. "I have to wait until Asha gets a man, then I get married. I'm going to wait forever. Where can she even find a man so fast? Just look at her. She barely goes out or attends social gatherings, and she's very picky. She's going to take forever and I'll be growing gray," Ashanti said. "Hey, I'm picky because marriage is a forever thing, and I'm going to spend that forever with someone that has the qualities I want," Asha argued. "Oh, just pay someone to marry you. Then you can fall in love later or divorce, because I cannot wait until you find your perfect match," Ashanti said. "That is not nice, honey. We can wait. I'm sure Asha here will find her person," Isa argued. Asha was frustrated by this antiquated custom, while Ashanti was furious with her sister, blaming her for the delay in her marriage. Determined to find a match, Asha began going on dates, but none was suitable. Her friends even organized blind dates, but many suitors were more interested in her wealth or position in the family business than in her. At one point, Asha considered her sister's plan of paying off someone to marry her, just so that Ashanti and Isa could wed, but she couldn't compromise her belief in the sanctity of marriage. Months passed and Ashanti's frustration grew. Give us some good news, please," Isa said. "I'm so sorry, but I still haven't found a match," Asha apologized. "I told you, she cannot find a match easily. She's a perfectionist," Ashanti shouted. "Ashanti, she's still your elder sister. Respect her," Mrs. Mbeki reprimanded. "Then that leaves us with no option. Isa here has to marry Asha, then later he can marry Ashanti," her father said. "What?" everyone exclaimed, shocked. "Father, this is not the Bible thing where Jacob and Leah and Rachel are something. This is my life, my future," Ashanti screamed. "No, it is not. It is tradition, and in the Bible, Jacob didn't know until after they were wed. But here, I am telling all of you before," Mr. Mbeki replied. "She gets to marry my man? Asha can't even sustain a marriage, and I get to be the second wife? So, I find my person, but he has to marry my sister first. Then I become the second option? No, I refuse. Not while I'm still breathing," Ashanti exclaimed. "First of all, Ashanti, I can sustain a damn marriage. I will let that slide and blame it on the frustration of the situation. And father, no, I also refuse. I cannot marry a man I am not in love with and who I don't even know. He's not my cup of tea. I prefer coffee," Asha replied. First, ouch, that hurts. But I agree with Asha. We don't know each other well, and although she's beautiful, I don't want to have two wives. I prefer my only choice, Ashanti," Isa replied. "I could pay my own dowry," Asha suggested. "Disgusting, unreasonable, and unheard of. Let me never hear that again out of your mouth," her father reprimanded. "But that is the only option that is left. She has money and she'll probably die alone with her 50 cats, Ashanti said. It is that, or you two wait until she finds her person and gets married. Then you can proceed. My decision is final, Mr. Mbeki said with finality. I accept. I will marry Asha, Issa said, shocking everyone. Are you alright or do you have a loose screw? I refuse. I'm not going to be a second wife, nor are you marrying my sister. Why does my happiness need to be detected by her? Ashanti shouted. It's the only option here, dear. We tried giving her time to find her match and it took her what? 6 months? And we still got nothing. I will not let the fact that you are the I will not allow you will not be ashamed because you are the only one I love. It's just a tradition, Issa defended. Then it's settled. In a week's time, Issa and Asha will get married, Mr. Mbeki said. Don't I have a say on this? Asha asked. The man who is to pay the bride price is the one who has the last word. And since he has accepted, then it pushes along, their father replied. The sisters' relationship grew strained with heated arguments and lingering resentment. 2 nights before the wedding, Asha decided to escape. As she reached the door, the lights flickered on, revealing her parents waiting on the stairs for her. They had been watching her like a hawk the whole week. They had anticipated her move and forced her back to her room, where she cried herself to sleep, feeling trapped and powerless against traditions that seemed to imprison women. The wedding day arrived, shrouded in gloom for Asha. Issa married her, but of course it had gone down with a dramatic scene from Ashanti, who ended up being dragged out. The issue was that her sister was once a best friend, hated her for something that she had no control of, and she too didn't want. After the wedding, the newlyweds went to Issa's home. Then Issa tried something disgusting. He tried kissing her. Ashanti pushed him away and ran to the bedroom, where she locked herself away. What was he trying to do? Was he expecting something from her? She was overwhelmed by the day's turnout. When she was clear that he was quiet and he was probably asleep, she walked out and went to the kitchen to have water. But then she stopped on her tracks, overhearing Issa on the phone. He was discussing how he was going to use her parents' company to do money laundering since they had offered him a position in the company. What? He was a fraudster all along? Did he even love her sister Ashanti, or had he been using her all this time? No wonder he took the chance to marry her easily and fast. She was the greatest link to the company. She needed to run away and tell her parents. She tried escaping, but the door was too loud and he caught her. Where are you going, honey? He asked sweetly. She stammered. Why couldn't her mind think fast when she needed it? For a walk, yes. I need fresh air. Her words came out rushed. At this time, isn't it late? Want some company? He asked. No, I need space alone, she said, trying to walk out. But sweetheart, I didn't pay for your dowry so that you could just leave me here alone. You do your duty as a wife, he said, dragging her inside. Leave me alone, you fraudster! You're in love with my sister, so you don't get to touch me. But right now I'm starting to rethink if you even loved her or was just using her, Asha shouted. Ah, so you overheard my conversation, you naughty, naughty girl. What did you hear? He shouted, holding her by the neck. You are hurting me, Issa. Please let me go, Asha pleaded. What did you hear? Don't make me repeat myself, he said, coldly strangling her. This wasn't the same Issa she knew. He had always been a gentleman and couldn't even hurt a fly. But I guess no one knew someone well enough. Why would you do this to my sister and my parents? They have loved you, trusted you, and treated you like a son. Why, Issa? You won't get away with that, I promise, Asha said in between breaths. I guess we'll see if I do or not. He laughed, strangling her more. She was running out of breath. She tried to reach for anything as a weapon, but she couldn't. Tried to push him away, but he was too strong. He strangled her until she took her last breath. Asha was gone just like that. The day that was supposed to be the happiest day. The day she was married off to someone she didn't love, nor did she want. She died on the arms of the man who married her. Panicked, Issa devised a plan to cover up her death. He continued seeing Ashanti in secret, manipulating her emotion. He also used Asha's phone to send messages to her parents, pretending she was happy and taking time to enjoy married life. When Ashanti texted Asha to reconcile, Issa, posing as Asha, arranged a meeting at Ashanti's home. When Ashanti arrived, Asha was nowhere to be found. Panicked, Ashanti confronted Issa, who feigned ignorance, telling her that he thought Asha was with her, as she had told him she would be staying a few days with her sister. They called their parents and friends, but none of them had seen Asha. So Issa reported Asha's disappearance to the police. The police questioned everyone and searched day and night, and the investigation pointed fingers at Ashanti, as neighbors reported she was against Asha's and Issa's wedding, had threatened Asha, and even Issa lied that Ashanti had been threatening him that if he didn't divorce Asha and marry her, he would hurt them. The worst was when Asha's phone was found hidden in Ashanti's closet. Asha's body was actually found a few days later decaying in an unknown forest. Despite her pleas of innocence, Ashanti was arrested, charged with kidnapping and murder, and sentenced to 30 years imprisonment. The Mbekis family not only lost one daughter, but their other daughter was the one responsible for her sister's death. Their reputation plummeted, with their company facing financial ruin. Months passed and life in jail was harsh for Ashanti. A year into her sentence, the family business came under investigation for money laundering. Everyone was questioned thoroughly, being promised their sentence would be reduced if they revealed the truth, the mastermind behind the operation. Under pressure and the promise of a sweet deal, an accountant, who was also Issa's best friend and accomplice, revealed the truth. Issa had orchestrated everything, including Asha's murder and the framing of Ashanti. With this revelation, the police reopened the case and the true story emerged. Issa was arrested and the Mbekis appealed for Ashanti's release. After a lengthy battle, Ashanti was exonerated, but the scars of the ordeal remained. The family, though shaken, began the slow process of healing, determined to rebuild their lives and honor Asha's memory. The lessons learned very clear on the dangers of blindly adhering to outdated traditions at the expense of personal happiness and ethical integrity. And that is the end of the story. Tell me in the comment section what you learned. And do not forget to subscribe, like and share the links with your friends, family and colleagues to also watch the videos. Subscribe, give a huge thumbs up and comment. Follow me on my own Instagram at pesh_norma, PESH_NORM. And below on my description box is the link to my other stories. I invite you to kindly check them out. Thank you and sarange!